Hello my loves, I hope you've been well. I'm pretty excited about this tutorial today because I've been meaning to do it for so long. Ever since I posted this picture right here, you guys were like, need a tutorial for this, so I decided to finally film it and do a bit of an upgrade. Also, I'm going to be revealing a new product, literally from one of my favorite brands. I'm pretty excited about this product. It's good, trust me, it's very good. So let's not waste any time. If you want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching. We're going to be as efficient as possible with this makeup tutorial because it's really hot today, and the more I think about sweating, the more I want to sweat. So it's not hard, it's not hard. All right, so I've already done my base for you guys. I've just popped on a bit of my Fenty foundation in the shade 290. The next step in my process is brows, and Benefit brows to be exact. Honestly, can't use any other product, wouldn't trust any other product. I'm sworn to these guys. Today I'm gonna be using Gimme Brow, and this is in the shade 5. I'm gonna be using 24-hour brow setter and the Precise in My Brow pencil in the shade 6. All right, so I'm actually gonna do my brows a little different. What I'm gonna do is sort of do it in reverse slightly. So I used to start with like the pencil or foolproof and fill them in first and then sort of brush them out with Gimme Brow and brow setter, but I'm going to do it like semi in reverse, and I'm going to start with Gimme Brow. This really just helps to sort of identify my hairs and sort of push them in the right direction before we even start shading these brows in. Also, I'm on a little bit of a brow journey, so my hairs are a lot longer and it's making me so happy. Like, I would never have this much length in my brows. I normally just get them threaded off, but I've stopped threading them. I'm just focusing on bushier, more natural brows. Yeah. I'm gonna go in with my 24-hour brow setter because I don't want those hairs to move. I've really got them in a good spot, and I'm just going to secure them, lock them in. Just give it like a minute to just set and dry. Ugh, sticking to me. I'm gonna go in with Precise in My Brow. I used to be very afraid of this product because I was like, I don't know how to use it. I think it's a lot to do with the pressure that you apply. So if you're using really light touches, you're gonna get quite a nice feathery brow. But I used to just like really pencil it in, and I used to get these like thick caterpillars. I was like, I don't think I'm doing this right. But I finally learned the technique, and I'm gonna show you. So I've just sort of like wound up a tiny bit of that product, and I'm just gonna like flick and feather in my brows, sort of just following the direction of my natural hairs, just sort of very gently fill it in and add a little bit more texture and more density. I'm also going to line the underside of my brow just to get a little bit more structure. But again, the pressure is super light, super gentle. I don't want to draw in like a really harsh line because it's going to look odd. So I'm just going to very gently start to fill that in. So I'm just flicking in some extra hairs at the beginning of my brow just to extend the length of my brow and make it match my other brow a little bit more. Sometimes I take this spoolie and just like brush it out if I start to pencil in a little bit too much. It just helps to sort of spread that product around. I'm just letting my natural brow hairs do most of the work, and I'm just filling in the spaces and the gaps. I'm gonna carve out the bottom of my brow just to make it look a little cleaner. So I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium. Then using the brush, I'm just gonna basically pull that concealer down just to blend it into the lid. And yes, I've noticed that this concealer is a couple of shades lighter than my skin tone. That's because I use it to sort of highlight and correct my under eyes and make that super bright. And then I also use it on my lid to also amplify and boost the vibrancy of my shadows. Since I've already concealed my left lid, I'm just going to give it to my right eye as well. Still using Shape Tape, I'm taking like 3 dots of that under my eye, and then I'm just going to blend that out with my SASSINE Beauty Blender. I'm obsessed with how precise this blender is. Like, it really does like get under the eye. No creases and no worries. When it comes to makeup, I feel like it's just such a process. For me, I don't actually feel cute until the very end, until I've got like lashes on, until I've got my contour, lip on. Otherwise, it's just like a major work in progress and everything looks a little bit ghostly and ghastly. So now the fun really begins. We're going to jump into that dusty pink eye. I'm going to use Fenty Beauty's Moroccan Spice palette. This is a really good dusty pink for brown girls because it's a little bit darker, but then it comes out like the right type of dusty pink on your skin. Whereas like other pinks, like other more like mauvey dusty pinks, just end up being like very peach and grayed out and washed out on darker skin. So I'm just going to take a base shadow brush like this, and I'm just going to dip into that color, really just getting it on there. I'm just going to tap it off just so I don't have that product fall out. And then I'm going to take that color and just tuck it into my crease right underneath that brow bone in the outer corner, and then just blend that out. I think one thing about YouTube tutorials is that the editing process really takes away how long I'm actually spending blending this in. Of course, I'm jumping forward a little bit and speeding it up when it comes to the YouTube tutorials, but I just want to let you know and be honest with you that I'm spending a good 5 minutes just blending out this one shade. I just want it to look super blended in and natural. You can't really rush the blending process because it's all about just working that color into your skin, just being super gentle and giving your eyelid as much love as possible. So another thing that I do to get the shadow really nice and blended is I use this little flicking motion just on the outer corner, and that really just helps to smooth everything out and really just get the color on my lid. And also, the closer you get to your brow bone, the softer the pressure. So you really want to make sure that you're not really applying that much pressure at all. You're really just like lightly feathering that into your skin. So I'm going to build this color, and I'm going to add this little peachy shade right underneath the color that I've just applied. More onto the lid, but still tucked into the crease. I'm going to go in with my blending brush and just soften those edges. I just wanted to share some knowledge with you. This is the Naked Cherry palette, basically a whole palette dedicated to dusty pinks. The reason why I haven't used it in this look is because I wanted to use the shades that I used in this look here. Like, I just wanted to stick to that. But this is such a pretty palette. Like, it honestly has every shade of pink you could ever need, and I think I'm actually going to go in and use this shade here, Young Love, because it's like a dusty pink shimmery color, and that's what the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice doesn't have, like a shimmery dusty pink. And I'm just going to swipe that on the inner corner just ever so slightly. So I'm going to continue the same color under my eye as well, using that dusty pink shade from the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. I'm just going to blend that in and smoke that out a little bit. I'm going to take that lighter peachy color and pop that in my inner corner. I'm going to take this cute little turquoise liner and pop that in my waterline. Feeling so much more complete now that my lashes are on, but we are not done yet because I am so excited. At the beginning of this video, I told you that there was going to be like a new product reveal slash surprise. We are finally onto that part of the tutorial where I can introduce you to Benefit's Cheekleader palette, which has like all the essential colors to really heighten your contour, to bring a bit of color to your cheeks, and to highlight your cheeks for the gods. Of course, we've got our good friend Hoola. We also have Gold Rush, which is like a really beautiful pinky but also gold hued blush. We also have Colorista, which is more of like a peachy blush. Then we've got Hoola Caramel, which is super exciting for my dark skin girls. And then last but not least, my absolute favorite shade in this whole palette is Cookie, which is like this gorgeous frosted highlighter that literally glows at every angle. Like, this highlighter is so smooth and creamy, and the payoff is like out of this world. Like, it's so insane. There's not a lot of highlighters that I trust because I think it's very difficult to get a really good consistency and texture when it comes to highlighter. You don't want it, like I prefer highlighters that don't look too glittery and look a little bit more like smooth and creamy, and this is it. You guys might remember that a couple weeks back I did a shoot with Benefit and it was all about the Cheekleaders palette, but we couldn't tell you guys anything. The product was completely under wraps, and we honestly just like could not wait to show you this palette because I feel like It's such a staple, like the colors in here are so important. It will definitely be very much regimented in my everyday base routine. So I'm very excited to use it. What I want to do first is jump in with Hoola, and I'm going to take that and just sort of swipe it against my cheekbone to create a little bit of definition. Very delicately and softly, I'm going to dip into Hoola Caramel because I don't want too much on my brush, but I'm just going to take that right underneath my cheekbone, and I might even just like squeeze the brush and just sort of trace that right there. And then sort of buff it out and soften it. And I'm going to use Gold Rush and use that as a nice little blush, and I'm just going to sort of rosy that onto my cheeks. And then I'm just going to dip into Cookie and really just get a lot of highlight on my brush. And then I'm just going to run that along the higher part of my cheekbone, sort of close to my eye. This is what I mean by like a really cream, velvety, smooth highlighter. There's no sort of chalkiness to it. There's no like glitteriness where you can sort of see the highlights separate. It's so smooth, and also it just works really well on top of Gold Rush and Hoola. I take a smaller brush for the tip of the nose and just sort of dust that on like that. And even like a little bit in the inner corner as well. So to tie this whole look together, I want to go in with Fenty Beauty's Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Uncuffed. This color is just really going to give the whole look a very monochromatic, dusty pink feel. I might also add some Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy just on top to give it more of a glossy vibe. And it doesn't hurt to add a bit of detail. I've got these really cute pearls that I got off eBay, and I'm just gonna add those into my inner corner, outer corner, and pretty much wherever I feel like. I knew something was missing. I needed to accessorize as well. And we're officially done with this look. I'm actually so happy with how it turned out. I think it looks super cute. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. And if you like what you see, I'm going to list all the products down below in the description. And don't forget that you can get your hands on your very own Benefit Cheekleaders palette available in store at Sephora. That's pretty much it from me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this and have a lovely day, my loves. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!